Michael Kamen, Dickhead, from the Die Hard 2 soundtrack. Now, HE6s, they're sort of infamous. And I was looking forward to hearing them. But at the same time, as soon as I took them out of the bag, let me show you the bag first. Because I received the bag, oh, and I was like, oh, look at that thread just sticking out. And then I remembered, this is old school HiFiMan. The bad old days. The all or nothing days. As a terrible, I like bags, this is a terrible bag. The owner provided me with 3 cables. The stock cable, which terminates in balanced. This crazy looking silver one that's 1/4 inch. And this crazy looking handmade one that's 1/4 inch. And considering what I had to do to get these to run properly, I only used either the stock cable or my old one that I had from my HE300s, which terminates in a 3.5mm. Put you down. What do I mean by the bad old days? Well, if you've just found Z reviews in the last year and a half, I haven't really, well, I guess the even the HE350. Old HiFiMan. We got to talk about build quality, where it was like, see this thing, oh, that slides, that's nice. These would shatter. And this is just a piece of spring steel with some padding on it, and you know, it works, metal, the old cup design, heavy. And the pads, well, these aren't the stock pads. I had to take the stock pads off. You are a stupid masochist if you leave the stock pads on, because these are the stock pads, same stock pads that was on every old school HiFiMan. And if I had to put them in one word, it would be terrible. These are the ones that have the rings that you can remove. Yeah, look at this. I mean, okay, it's velour. The actual material isn't terrible. It's this just stiff, I don't know, bargain bin hard foam they put in there, and it's just these are $10, by the way. These were $10 to buy. And they're putting them on $1,200, $1,500. I don't remember. I think these sold for $1,200 when they were new. And you can't buy them anymore, so they'll probably still sell for $1,200 because that's what happens. They've got the old terrible connector, the SMC micro coaxial screw-in. I think I had a little party all by myself when they adopted the 2.5mm standard on, what was that? That was the 400i's? The original 400i's went to the new 4, yeah. Pads on here now. Believe it or not, if you go all the way back to my HE500 review, these are the exact, I never took them out off the rings. I had no reason to. These are the NVX, which are like the Brainwaves, but these are the NVX angled, which are a bit much softer. I'm going to say much softer. And the stock rings that I had on my HE300s or something. And yes, this is upgrade that I've done, number one. Now the problem with this pair is someone else has done some stuff to it, I'm pretty sure. We look under here and it's that clip system, so it's a pain in the dick. We've got, there you see the planar driver, and you see there's this rod with threads on the end of it, and I'm pretty sure that's not stock, is like a glue. And this quarter is just covered with some foam and some felt tape right there. So you know what? I'm gonna review as is. I'm not gonna start. I don't know what this is. Maybe a strength thing to keep the driver from flexing. That's the only modifications I can make out. I'm not gonna pull this apart. I'll put this back together now. You gotta. Oh, I hate these. Oh, I hate this day. I gotta not cause things to shatter. Although you could just buy any old set of HiFiMans and then just replace the parts because they'll all fit. So once I got rid of these terrible pads and I was actually able to listen to these for any extended amount of time, it came up like, all right, he sent it with the HiFiMan adapter. See this thing? You see that? Did anyone notice this happening? Let me move this box. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening that doesn't normally happen on my desk for a headphone review, because these headphones are special needs. These are special needs headphones. They are probably the hardest to drive headphones. Maybe not in the world, but real fucking close. Real close. And so this adapter that you can buy, I don't think they came with it, literally takes speaker terminal inputs from an amplifier and converts it to 4-pin XLR. And I opened this up to check, and there is a large series of resistors across the lead. So it's not just connecting those to this. It's doing something to either limit or change the ohm impedance. I'm not sure. I will upload that picture, future Zeos that's watching this, to see what to do. Upload that picture of the inside of this to Imgur and link it in the description so that you guys could all tell me what's going on. Because I plugged other headphones into this setup just to see, and it's not right. So this is probably bespoke to this HiFiMan series. So what's happening on my desk? Right now we've got my Windows 10 laptop, because for some reason my Windows 7 desktop, well, it's also a laptop, but my Windows 7 review computer would not play nice with the Modi multi-bit. So here's the Modi multi-bit being fed from this laptop, going into a Quest style CMA 800p current mode preamp, which is just RCA in and then RCA out, to the Phase Linear Model 400 that I reviewed a while back, which is 200 watts a channel. And then that's just straight outputting to the HiFiMan adapter box, and then it's super easy. It's super easy to make, these go. It's just super easy. You are looking at, there's 1.2 of a watt, and there's 2 watts, and that line's 10 watts, and we're pretty much skirting above 10 watts. But again, there's resistors in here, so I can't verify that we're actually pushing 10 watts. I know you can push lots of power into these to make them go. I had the monoliths here through my adapter plugged into this, and the dial would barely move. It would come off like the first 2 things, and it'd be deafeningly loud. So not recommended for easy to drive headphones. But these are a special case. Now, the Jotunheim, which is standing over there, could power them. But I felt like something was missing. Something just oozed. Because Jotunheim claims 7.5 watts a channel when you're going into 32 ohms in balanced output. These are 50 ohm with 82 decibels of sensitivity, which is probably the lowest I've ever heard. That means 1 watt should make 82 decibels come out. 82 decibels is not that good. So, power. So past the build, past the this and this, and I don't mind the build. The connectors are shit, and the wire is just, I'm sure this headphone is 2-3 years old, and this wire has never stopped looking like that. Just bad. It's bad. Old bad HiFiMan. Old bad HiFiMan. But how do they sound? Let's get to something different. Fleerk, to use my remote. That's not a good song. Johnny Cash, Wichita Lineman. Fast forward. Not that great a recording. They're not bad. Alright, what does Zio say? They're not bad. But for the cost that they were, and what you can get now for that cost, I'm not blown away by these. I think, in fact, I'd have a hard time blindfolded telling you if these were or were not HE500s. The ones that I really like back in the day, HE500s were the Tiger Blood planar murder boxes. And these are close. These might be a little more neutral in the low end. Certainly in the low end, I think they're a little more level. And then they get a little peaky in the treble, but I think that mod's helping out a bit too, because from what I've known about these, and I know what they're supposed to be like. They're good planars, but I don't think they compete with like Ether Flows or anything Audazee puts out. Maybe they're a little better than the twos. I mean, I don't want to start even mentioning the monoliths, because you people will have a fucking kitten if I say, oh, I'd rather have the monoliths than HE6s. But I'd rather have the monoliths than HE6s. That said, these are probably still better headphones, but there's this issue. So power out of this into this. What I was finding, I was running like here, we could do this right now. Pause that. I'll mute this. Listen. Sounds like a goddamn stock exchange ticker. Put that in there. That's no slouch. Now I don't have the switches in the bottom switch to, kill everyone on Earth mode, but that should be fine. Let's put on something else. Handsome Family's good. I need to find something bassy. Bassy. Part of this don't you get? There you go. Mr. Robot OST. It's distorting. That amp's distorting. And I know Mr. Robot is a distorting OST, but I could tell you when something is going, Yeah, I could hear the low one come in and just kill that amp. Kill my baby. That's maximum power. Maxed out the Ion X7S. And I could hear that it doesn't want to be there. It doesn't want to be driving these. They're only 50 ohm. It's not an ohm issue. The soundstage isn't as wide as I'd like it to be. For a planar that has this much behind it and this much power is required, and everyone's like, it's good, but it's not better than like the HiFiMan 1000s. So, I mean, that was great. The newer Vision, and they're twice as much. But I would expect, I don't think these have as good a soundstage as the HE500s. They're a little bit more compact, and the low end is more controlled, but it depends on what you want today. Do I want compact, controlled low end, or I want wild, crazy, cocaine snorting old school HiFiMans? Because that was the one thing that I complained about with the new HiFiMan line, the 400i's and the 400S I's and 560s, is they got a little bit more refined. The whole line did. The 400s and the 500s, those things were. I would easily pick up a set of HE500s for my wall. If I just had this tingle for, I really want some old school retarded planar, just fuck. I'd grab 500s. Wouldn't grab HE6s. Okay, so let's take myself out of the equation. My opinion no longer matters. What are you buying these for? Well, here, Classical's playing. Oh, not playing on that. It just can't push it. It just can't push it. I'm gonna lower that down. We gotta come back to power. And you don't need this much power. Any, good 10 to 50. I'm running the most I saw ever out of these graphs is 20 watts per channel, which is a lot for a headphone. But if you're talking about a speaker amp, you can get a decent 50 watt per channel speaker amp and plug it into this. I'm just using what I got. Take this off mute. Yeah, it's definitely sounds better with endless power behind it. It's a very flat. They sound flat. And I want that to be a good way. I want that to say, oh, they sound flat in a good way. But I'm not. When I got them and I started plugging them in and I had my adapter and I'm plugging them into the Aris and I'm plugging into that, I'm plugging into the Jotunheim. I hadn't hooked this box up till like a couple days ago. And I was just trying to see, do they do what everyone claims they do? And then I really went back and looked, and what are people claiming they do over modern choices? I can't figure it out. When I'm happy about it, when a product excites me, you get an excited review. Excited Zeos comes out and plays. This is Zeos that's like, I had to pick my goddamn phase linear up off where it belongs, bring it here, make custom little speaker wires so they didn't have giant lengths, and then hook all this crap up, and it's still not like, it didn't unlock this magic that I was expecting from HiFiMan HE6s. These have been like, for 5 years, since I started, this was like, you gotta eventually get up to these, and it's like, well, I'm here. Eventually has come and gone, and I'm here. Now what? Maybe, probably the wrong order. I think if I would have heard these 3-4 years ago at the start of my headphone reviewing career, I would have been impressed. I would have probably talked about them directly comparing to the HE500s, and I would say, well, these are more refined, but now it's like, Even trying to use them with the stock pads. Because then you're really getting into, like, why? If they were so good, and you had to leave the stock pads on to do it, and the wire, they would have, like, a special spot. But they don't. I've tried them with the stock pads. I tried them with the more comfortable pads. You can at least listen to them with the more comfortable pads. But I'm still not... Look, don't take this as they sound bad. They just don't sound $1,200 good right now. What you can get right now. Shoot some children. My guitar sounds great. Vocals sound... It's a little bit of the treble. It's just... They're very good. If I had... But, I'm going to say it again. HE500s are these. I'll do the HE500s. They're a little more unkempt. But they're going to be less than half the price. And they're going to be giant old school HiFiMan planars like I remember. And you can put these pads on them. Or I think any closed good pad will work. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it strange? Now I'm going to link the sound demo in the description, and the sound demo I'm going to run off of the Aris because, well, I've done it already. This didn't bring enough of an improvement to the table to, say, oh, I got to redo the sound demo. No. Oh, God. Oh, gods. They're high-quality planars, but they're dated, heavy, stupid connector. This isn't very comfortable. They're too... It's comfort, convenience, wires. You'll be much happier, most people, with like 560s. Just saying. Or, in my case, M1060s. I feel bad. I feel bad like I've been waiting to do this review forever, and it's just going to be like, I'm not impressed. If Zeos is not impressed, Zeos, they're not bad. Just not not going to go hunting them down. They're not stacks. The way people were talking about these, it was like, oh man, who needs stacks? I've got HE6s. Not happening. That's pretty good. Piano. Let's try some piano. Or I could just completely skip that entirely and fuck that up. At least with this setup, when the bass kicks to 20 watts per channel, if there's no distortion. If you got them, love them, cherish them, care for them, change the goddamn pads. Change the wire too, just because this wire does not do anything wrong. It's just, I hate it. Let's never go back here again. Let's never go back to old school HiFiMan again. If anything, it'll be HE500s that I'll buy and then I'll mod to be not old school HiFiMans. My friend has HE400s and he put the new HE560 headband strap and everything on it. It says, oh my god, it's so much better. Because you have to do that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is an unnecessary evil. Got HE500s, got a decent amp at the Audio God. The own will definitely push those. I pushed it on my own. You'll be fine.